Welcome everybody. This is our 7th event for the student parents, or all student parents are welcome to our events. So our mission is to support students who are parents through mentoring, coaching, and resources. So in the spring semester, we have a few sessions. This is towards the end of it. In 2 weeks, on May the 4th, we're going to have a graduation ceremony. So you're all invited. So today's agenda, we have 3 special speakers, great speakers, as we indicated here. So Thesha Zeigler is coming on. She's finishing up the lip sync event right now. So, and then let me see what's the next. Okay, so please put it on your calendar. May 4th is a special graduation ceremony. We will be celebrating all our student parents who are members of our events. And we're going to include all of those parents who are graduating this semester. So just a quick reminder, these events are funded by the generous support of Oklahoma Women's Foundation and TCC Foundation. So with these funds, we are able to purchase the mothers or the parents' bag for rent. So inside each bag, there will be thinking games, classic board games, and children's books catered to different age groups of your children. So please feel free to come by our office at Northeast Campus AB 206. You can check it out to spend quality time with your children. So we do have a website here. It's over here. If you Google search DEITCC, you'll see our events, dates, and recordings, just in case you've missed this event. So last of all, we do have a sign-in survey. Our drawing will be throughout this event, and we have 5 prize drawings, $10 each for participants. So make sure to stay on and don't miss the important information provided by our special speakers. So again, just keep notes here. We have a pre-registration for graduation ceremony in 2 weeks. So I would follow up with a group email, send it to you to pre-register for this. We will have certificates and souvenirs for the graduated members. Okay, so come back to, I'm gonna flip my screen, apologize here. Okay. So again, we're very happy to have 3 special guest speakers from our college. They'll each introduce some helpful resources you may find very beneficial. Our first guest speaker is Joseph Schnetzer. He's the Director of TRIO Student Services. Joseph is our respected colleague and good friend. He's very kind and loved by many students he worked with. So welcome, Joseph.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and greetings to all the parents out there. That's the challenge, right? To try to divide your time between going to school and perhaps working and taking care of your family and the other obligations that you have. So juggling it all. And really, I should be having our TRIO students do the presentation today. I know we had Jonica on, and I see Kayla is here today. So we've got TRIO students that are in the session today. Hey there, Kayla. And so just glad to have the opportunity to share with you all today. And so if it's okay, Joy, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Yes.
And so the first thing that I like to ask students before we get too far along is, so I wonder, if you could indicate, let me put my chat box on. If you could put in there how many of you are first generation students, you could put in first gen in the chat box if you are, that'd be great. All right, so Kayla. Great, Marquita, excellent. Oh, hi, Marquita, she's with Trio also. Now I see your name. Everyone's position is different on the screen. Great, super. So this is a really great opportunity for us. I'm first gen also. And when I was graduating from high school, I thought, well, I was living down in Miami, Florida at that time. I thought, well, I'll just apply, I guess, to the University of Miami and go there. Had no idea it was a private school, that it costs $1 gajillion to go there. I didn't know anything about that because I'm a first gen student. No one in my family had ever gone to college before. And so I got accepted. But then when I got the tuition bill, I was like, oh, I can't do that. I knew nothing about applying for financial aid. I had never heard of a FAFSA. I just didn't know anything. And so I ended up going to a technical school like TTC and started in radiography. And then I did diagnostic medical sonography and started working at the local hospital. And they said, hey, if you'd like to go to college, we'll pay for it with tuition reimbursement. There's Kat. There's another one of our students in Trio. So yay, great to see you, Kat. Welcome.
Hi.
And
Thank
I was
you.
just telling everyone a little bit about my story, that, you know, I'm a first generation student also. And when the hospital that I was working for offered to provide some tuition reimbursement to go back to college, I started out at the local community college and worked my way up to my bachelor's and eventually my master's degree. And it's given me a lot of opportunity along the way, open doors, and increase the salary earnings that you can expect by opening the doors to higher level positions along the way. So I want to commend you all, especially our first generation students, for being the first in your family to change the trajectory of your family, because once one person goes to college, then other members of your family and friends can say, hey, if they can do it, so can I. And so you'll become a role model for others. And I commend you on that and the opportunities it's going to unlock for yourself and for your family and friends. So that's great. So let's see if I can get this screen share going now. And let's do this one. So that's not the right one. Let's do a better job. That's not it either. Okay, here we go. All right, so I've got a little presentation here for you. I just have to move my Zoom box out of the way so that you can see. But we've got a whole team in Trio ready to serve you. I'm the director, Joseph Schnetzer, and we have 2 academic counselors, Kaylee and Sherry. Our admin is Chelsea, and she's the one who accepts applications into the program. And we have 5 academic support specialists. That's a fancy way of saying tutors in science and English and history and math and all of the subjects that you may need help with. We have 2 peer tutors, meaning that they were students and also are helping Trio students, and our work study office support clerk, Leah. And so wondering, what is Trio anyway? It's a grant program that's sponsored by the Department of Education, and it provides student support services that you may need to help you along the way. And I started off by wondering who was a first generation student, but you don't have to be first generation to be in Trio. That's just one of the ways to be eligible. There's actually 8 different Trio programs that span all the way from middle school through high school, college, onto your bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degree. So the TRIO creates a pipeline of success. And ultimately, we want to help students with their goals to remain in good academic standing while you're at the college, to register from semester to semester, to graduate, and to transfer on for your bachelor's degree. And so I found out that some of you are first generation, but for the definition in our grant, your parents could still have an associate's degree. They are a college grad, but you'd still count as a first generation student because our goal is to help you get to the bachelor's degree level. So you could still apply under that criteria. And so we do have two TRIO programs here at TCC. The one on Southeast Campus is called the Education Opportunity Center, and they help to get students to college. And once you are enrolled, then SSS, Student Support Services, helps to get you through college onto your associate's degree and transfer to your bachelor's. And so what kinds of things could you expect if you were with TRIO? Well, we have academic advising. You'd get an advisor in TRIO who knows you and your goals and can help you semester to semester. And that way you'll have a consistent person to go to. We help you transfer on to a university. We have tutoring available. We help students with economic and financial literacy. In other words, how do I stretch my money to make it through the semester and make it to my goals? We have a TRIO Student Association. In fact, many of our TRIO students who are on with us today are actually officers in our association. We have educational and cultural activities. For example, next month, our students are going to be doing a painting party. You've probably heard of like Pino's Palette or places like that, where you have an instructor who teaches you how to paint a picture. We're going to give that a try and explore our creative talents. We do academic counseling with students to help give you some strategies for note-taking and time management and other skills that'll help you along the way. And we certainly want to help you explore your careers so that you will make sure that your career matches your major. So if you would, go ahead and put in a chat box, what is your major and what career are you shooting for? So I guess while I'm sharing this, I can't see the chat box, but Joy, maybe you could tell us what some of the folks said in there, if you don't mind helping.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see.
I thought I could see.
Yeah, Sean says, Sean Ross. Let's see. Okay, switch.
Oh, Sean's in TRIO.
Let's see. What did he say? Okay, Kat says history major, high school teacher, or college.
Ooh.
Makita says liberal arts. My main career, I want to be interior designer. Kayla Kilby says education major, secondary teacher, grades 4 through 9. So we have 3 more new messages. Janica is political science, politics. Kayla helped me choose to switch my degree. Cynthia Wilson says nursing, nurse.
Nice, thank you for sharing. And we also help students with financial aid assistance. A couple of things, we have some TRIO scholarships that are specifically for students in TRIO, both in our program, at the state level, at the regional level, and at the national level. We also provide students with $50,000 a year in tuition waivers. And that's in the form of $1,000 waivers to eligible students, $500 in the fall and $500 in the spring if you qualify. And the top 50 most needy TRIO students receive the waivers. All right. We also provide cultural events and trips. We go to museums. In fact, our next museum visit is going to be to the Murrah Building Memorial, which we just had the anniversary this week of the Oklahoma City bombing. We're going to go out there and see the museum and the memorial. Performing arts, we're going to be going to the Performing Arts Center this summer, and we're going to be seeing a performance about the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. We do campus visits to various colleges and universities. Right now they're virtual, but we'll be back in person hopefully soon. And community service projects. We offer workshops to students like study skills, time management, stress management, financial aid and scholarships, transfer counseling for your bachelor's degree, leadership and teamwork and workforce development. And lots of other events too. We have a trio day every February. And in fact, Kayla is the winner of our Trio Day Scholarship. So congratulations to her. She won this year. We have a gala each year. Our gala this year is going to be in May, and student achievements are recognized there. We do early enrollment. We're the first group at the college for our students to be able to enroll for their classes. So you get the first choice of the class, day, time, and professor that you most want and need in order to be successful. So if you've ever gone to register for a class and it says it's full, and you're like, I need that class this semester so I can graduate. Well, if you're in Trio, you're first in line, so the classes aren't full, and that'll get you the help you need to be able to get the classes for success. And so I was wondering if some of our Trio students could maybe talk about some of their favorite parts of Trio, how Trio has helped them the most. Yes, Jonica?
Hi, everyone. So I'm actually the vice president of Trio Student Association. Okay, I joined Trio last April, and it has been absolutely amazing. So one of the resources available to us, as Joseph mentioned, was the tutoring. So anytime I'm in need of a tutor, I'm sorry about that, I can go to either they've got a tutoring learning center located at Metro Campus, but I personally prefer the virtual Zoom tutoring. So I'm able just to pop in there whenever I'm needing help with an assignment or something, and they're able to help me, like, guide me through that. And then another thing is I have Kaylee, she is my advisor. She helps me with like everything basically. She is the one who was like, well, let's determine what you really want to do with this. And she helped me get right on the course to go into political science, since I am going into politics. Also, Sherry was able to hook me up with a mentor. This mentor has helped guide me through decisions and everything. So it's been really an awesome program. I highly recommend it. And with that, I yield the floor back over to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Jonica. I appreciate the testimonial, and we're glad Trio's there for you. Trio works.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to share that's in Trio already?
Kat wrote a comment, I think.
Yes.
Kat, go ahead.
Sorry, it went on mute. I've really enjoyed Trio. I was a student 10 years ago, and I ended up quitting when I had my kids. And so this is me coming back, and Trio's just really helped me. I mean, my counselors made it much easier for me to enroll. The early enroll has helped me a lot, because I have needed a math class that the last two semesters I couldn't get into. So just telling me the scholarships and all the things that are available to do, just being a part of something, it's been great. I've enjoyed it. I think it's something all of us should do.
Thank
And
you
that's
for
it.
sharing that. I appreciate it, Kat, and we're glad to have you in Trio for sure.
Thank you.
And so just sharing a little bit of our secrets to success, we build relationships with our students. We get to know you and your goals. We want to provide you with personalized services that you need to help you be successful. We want to make sure that you know you belong, and that's developing your network with other students. We want to be your one-stop shop so you can come to us for everything that you need at the college. And we're going to build your trust so that you know Trio works for you. And so there's 3 ways to be eligible for Trio. You must be a citizen or a permanent resident, have an academic need. In other words, you need us to help you with something, and meet at least one of the following. You're either a first-generation student or economically challenged student. So maybe, for example, you receive Pell Grant. You don't have to receive the Pell to be eligible, but probably if you're getting Pell, you'd be eligible through our criteria for a low-income family student, and also students with disabilities. And you do have to be registered with AR. And Amber's going to be talking to you today about AR services. So we love to partner and collaborate with them. And so you can find us on the Metro campus. We're in the main academic building. Our office is on the 1st floor in room 1020. We also have a learning center with computers and tutors available. We also offer all of our services virtually, as Jonica said. You can either call us or you could email us at triosss@tulsacc.edu. We're open regular student service hours, and we even have tutoring on evenings and Saturdays available. And so with that, I was wondering if anyone has any questions. Oh, now I can see my chat box now that I stopped sharing. Oh, Yari's on too. Also, thank you for sharing, Yari. I appreciate that. And Kayla, thank you for sharing how Trio has been great for you. Perfect. Well, I encourage everyone to definitely apply for Trio. If I could, I'm going to share my screen for just 1 minute more.
Sure.
And if we go to tulsacc.edu/Trio, that'll bring you to our Trio homepage. It's taking a second to load. Are you able to see it, Joy?
Yes.
Perfect. And so if you go down here, the second one is Trio Student Support Services. There's also a video here that our students made about what they like about Trio, but we had it live today. So you already have your in-person testimonial. But if you click on the Trio Student Support Services, that will take you over to our page, and you'll see here is the link for the application so that you can put your application in. It's just basic information, and we do ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself so that we can already get to know you, and then we'll be on our way to encourage you for the program. We do have all of our students for this semester full, but if you'd like to put your application in this semester to be considered for the future semesters, we will go ahead and take a little bit of time to get all of your application and paperwork in. Then you'll be all set to go when we're taking students in for a future semester. Great. Well, thank you so much. I hope the other students' testimonials inspire you to encourage you to apply to Trio, because Trio works and we're here for you. And Joy and Thesha and Amber, thank you so much for inviting us to be here today. It's a pleasure to talk with all of the students that are on today.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for sharing the important and helpful information from TRIO SSS. As I told the audience earlier, we're going to put this link on the website so a lot of other student parents can view this, this link. Many of them have classes right now, so appreciate your time and effort. So thank you again, Joseph.
You're welcome.
Next, our next speaker is Thesha Zeigler. She's my co-academic success coach and friend. Having her on our team makes a huge difference. Not only she chairs the NSLS student organization, she's also famous for her lip sync. So today she just finished lip singing, raising funds for the TCC Foundation. So it's still time for voting. 5 o'clock tonight is the deadline, I believe, right, Thesha?
I believe so.
Yeah, great performance. So glad to have you, Thesha.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, everyone, and also participating in this. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself and my background as a single parent. You know, I'm just here to give you that extra oomph around here because I know how hard it is. And being an academic success coach, it is my job to help you fill those holes and those gaps because it takes a village. So without further ado, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes or so going over this PowerPoint, and please feel free to ask any questions you may have, okay? So let me see if I can and share. Can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
So, all right, awesome. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is finding your voice, okay? It's so important being a single parent. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, but I can only talk about the female point of view, but I am very supportive when it comes to the males who are putting it in there and putting in the work too. You know, that's not really their normal design, but they have it to give. So let's start with find your own voice and don't lose it, okay? Well, my little bit about me. I'm a divorced mom of 2 children, and the two is Dante, who's 32, and my daughter Jamisha, who is 23. Now, these two have been my ride or dies through my college career, even through undergrad and my master's degree. They are part of my village. And I know being a single parent, I just want to show you that you have to make even your children part of your village. I can say when I was at Langston University, when I was up burning the midnight oil, my son played with blocks, crayons, all those different things, just so I could get through my studies. Some of the barriers that I had just starting out, I was first generation. I am first generation. My mom went and got her degree after I got mine. I say, we call us the 3 musketeers, my mom, my sister, and myself, to get through this whole process of being a single mom. The social background that I mentioned in the PowerPoint, I grew up in North Tulsa. And after my parents divorced, I had to take on the responsibilities of being an adult. So I had to learn ground up how to pay bills, how to budget, how to buy, you know, food, how to navigate systems that I knew nothing about, even as a young child. So when I got to college level, it was a little different. Going through that same process again. I felt alone. And I just want to tell you, of course, being in this environment and getting this education, we're here to tell you that you are not alone. So if you look at some of those areas, that was just survival. First generation, poverty, you know, no one to help you. I understand that. I think that's what makes me a really good coach. is because I understand that world. I'm telling you, there is help here. There is so much help. You just gotta have the voice to get through and ask the questions that you need help. So anyway, let's look at those responsibilities I had, and you have as well. Work, bills, you have children, clothes, schooling, doctor's appointments, gas, all that, and try to get a career at the same time, or get your education, make your classes, do good on tests. It could be overwhelming, right? So for me, as part of that survival, no one told me that I can actually breathe and take my time. So this is me as a college student, working full time, going to school full time. Who can relate to this? Okay, so we are not here to be superwoman, Superman. That is a syndrome we need to throw out the door. Is our health, our mental health cannot sustain it. It's a myth. Okay, so I want you to think about that. Instead, start putting your strategy together, a plan together. Start building your village. So I mentioned here, this is some of the things that I practice when I'm working with students in coaching. First, have 5 people in your area, and please ask them, because that's their investment in you. A coach, a professional mentor, someone who is already in the game, the career that you're trying to get into, because they can give you some of the rules or changes or something to look for, because they're already in it. You're here in the classroom getting all that education, instruction, and stuff like that, but there's someone out there who's actually working in that environment who can help you. So you'll want that person. You'll want a person who vents, who will help you vent. They're not there to solve your problems. They're there to so you can get it off your chest. You know, sometimes you just got to get it off your chest so you can think clearly. Next will be your supporter. Usually that's a family member, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, sometimes children, especially when it comes to a single parent. Sometimes children helps to be part of that village. You know, give mom some water. You know, she's been working hard. Maybe they can run your bubble bath, but you want that type of village as you navigate through this experience, because you need as much relaxation and me time as you can get as you move along this journey. So we want to make sure that you're proactive, okay, going through this process. When you're proactive, that means you're working with your coach, you're seeing your academic advisor, if you're part of TRIO, you're talking and mentoring with them as well. So make sure that everything you do is more proactive and not reactive. The worst thing you can do being a parent, and you may have seen this already, is being caught flat-footed. It is the worst feeling, and things crumble so fast as a parent. One solid thing to happen, a car breaking down or something like that, can just wipe out your budget, your food budget, clothes budget, whatever that budget may be. So always have a contingency plan, whatever plan that you have. If this doesn't work out, what's next? Okay, that will save so much anxiety on you. Okay, so let's look at some of the other things. All right, so in this process, and of course I am a TCC employee, so I'm going to plug TCC. How can TCC help you? Okay, first, be part of our office. That's what we're here for. We are, as coaches, we are glorified student advocates. That's what we do. We advocate for you. We advocate for faculty. We advocate for administration, because we all need a village. We all do. Okay, so you want to talk with your academic advising, making sure that you have chosen the correct major for your life. Okay, make sure you have the right classes, all the right pathway. That's what they do. Career services. What are you going to do when you get that degree? You need a resume, correct? So you need to visit with them. I worked in career services and academic advising. I know what they do. I'm a huge advocate for each one of those departments. They really do look out for those students. They can help you with mock interviews. If you're nervous when you're sitting down in that hot seat, they can sit there and they can hammer it out with you so you can be real calm and answer those questions as they need to be in, okay? Also, if things get too heavy, which we know this environment sometimes could get too much. And if you were kids all the time, you don't have a chance to get out with your girlfriend, sometimes that can work on your mental. You just want to scream into a pillow. I get it. Do it. Scream in that pillow. But if there's anything else that you may need, that you just cannot put the pieces together or plug in the holes, TCC has a wellness service, and I know you might know about them. If you don't, we might be able to present that to you some other time, but please visit with them. Another thing, being a single parent, you're alone a lot, right? So we want to make sure that you're safe. If you haven't done so already, campus police, make sure you have them in your phone. Like I said, you don't want to be caught flat-footed. If there's someone after you, stalking you, or just in a position where you're just feeling uneasy, they are really nice guys. They will walk you to your car. That is very sweet. Sometimes we have been in positions here, students have been in positions here where things just don't go the best, and you want to just be prepared. So make sure you have that number in your phone, okay, just in case. Now with student life, this is another area TCC can help you with. They have food banks. We know we have students here who are struggling. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Your brain doesn't work if it's not fed, correct? So granola bars, whatever they have in their food pantry, it's been a while since I've been in there, but I know it's there for students. And they work off a point system. You don't need money. There's food for you. And we have other areas and outside help, especially through our area here, that can get you food, or any other area, if it's financial, anything like that. Just feel free to use those villages to get through. Use us as part of your village. Okay, so student life. So if things are the funds are a little low, they have discounted tickets. You know, you can, instead of just taking you can take you, your family, your mom, dad, make it a family event. If your car breaks down, make sure you know what those bus transportation is. So we try to give you a 360 view. There's still more areas that TCC has, but I just want to make sure this is a good way of being proactive and not reactive, okay? So this is what I'm speaking of when you talk about using your voice. One of my favorite movies, okay? And now I'm kind of dating myself, but who cares?
What the hell are you doing here?
I want to be a police officer.
What? I can't hear you. Don't unpack.
One of my ultimate favorites. Now, if you're trying to command a room or command your life, and you're speaking in a lower voice, who's going to listen? Do you even know what your voice sounds like when you're trying to command a room? I know you probably know what it sounds like when you're going after your children or trying to get them to put their shoes on or take a bath or brush their teeth. But what does your voice sound like outside of your home? Do you command a room when you need to? So that's what I mean about finding your voice, okay? If you don't, I have some ways you can work on that. First, breathe. Because sometimes when you have to use your voice, it can get a little elevated. So take a deep breath, all right? Relax. Things can get rough. So we got to remember to breathe. If we don't breathe, we faint because there's no oxygen getting to the brain. All right, speak with enthusiasm. People lean into you. If they lean into you and keep eye contact, you have their attention. You command their attention. If they're sitting back and they're just kind of looking around, that means your voice needs to change. And you need to command that room, command that attention to get what you want. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, single parents. It's too much to do. All right, so this is what I want you to do. And please put your phone on mute or your laptop or whatever, because it would just be a big mumbo jumbo. We're gonna practice, okay? And this is what we'll say: I own my own voice. I own my power. Do you feel that? If you can't feel that, say it again. When I own my voice, I own my power. And that comes from your gut. You'll feel it, because you'll feel it when you come to command that room. Okay. So if anyone have any questions, feel free. I'm here for you. As a coach at TCC, I'm here. As a mentor, I'm here for you. You are never alone walking through this or going through this rat race, I'm telling you. That's all I have for you.
Back on.
I'm
Thesha,
sorry.
will you please put the last slide back on?
Oh,
I was
sure.
just trying to copy it down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. This one right here?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Joy, are there any questions or anything come up? Because I can't see anything.
Let me see.
I can answer them one.
Yeah, love the topic. Let's see, who said that? Yeah, there's some comments here. Let's see. Kayla says, let's see. TCC offers great wellness services. Yes, we love, yes, let's see. It's jumbled up here. Yeah, the student can ask the questions. Everybody feel free to read your comments.
No, and I can look at them as well when I'm done. I just didn't know if there was anyone who had any questions during the question and answer part.
Let me see. Yeah, it's open for questions to Thesha. If you have questions, this is a great time to ask. So thank you so much, Thesha.
You're welcome.
Appreciate all your resources. I didn't know you made a PowerPoint so fast yesterday. That's
I
great.
wasn't sure after my performance how quick I have to get back to be a professional and
That's
not
wonderful. And yes, to donate to the great course, the TCC Foundation, you can check out do you have recordings, Thesha, for the dancing? For
I
racing?
think so. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Yeah. And the
I
voting
think so,
time
but
is
we'll have to
5, right?
see. We'll have to see. I haven't seen it yet. I just got a lot of kudos from it, but we'll see. But
right.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, Thesha. And we're right on time. Our last speaker is Amber Bagwell. She's the academic counselor at the Accessibility Resources at TCC. So I often run into her at Northeast Campus, and she has the best smile. So she cares about the well-being of her students who need her help from the AR, the accessibility resources. Thank you, Amber, for pulling everything together on such short notice. So glad to have you, Amber.
Well, thank you for that compliment. And Thesha, you're a tough act to follow, but I'm going to do my best. So a little bit about me before I get into this presentation is that I am a single foster mom. So I know our struggles can be similar, but also very different. But the time management, I am very aware of trying to get everything done with feeling like you do not have enough hours in the day. I most recently had a teenager, and raising a teenager is not for the faint of heart. And so I also want to explain why I am so passionate about accessibility resources. When I was in high school, I was in an accident that caused me to be in a wheelchair. And I ended up having 5 surgeries my junior and senior year. So my junior year, I attended school for about 2 months and then started having surgeries. And then after graduation, I had my final surgery during that stint of things. So when I went to college, this was before the Dear Colleague letter of 2010, where schools were told you have to have accessibility, you have to be an accessible campus. I went to a college that was not prepared to assist me in the ways that I needed. My senior year of high school, I was diagnosed with a chronic illness. And so with that chronic illness, I have chronic fatigue and chronic pain. And if you don't have those can really impact your ability to, attend morning classes or just attend classes regularly. and I did not have understanding faculty to help me be as successful as I needed to. So I ended up dropping lots of classes. I had to take some summer classes because my schedule, I wasn't meeting the financial aid requirements. And I eventually ended up transferring to a different institution that could better support me. So this is a very personal job for me. It's something that I feel like I can relate to my students, even if we have completely different diagnoses, because I understand the struggle, and my fight is to make everything accessible so that eventually one day my office won't even be necessary, because it's just so ingrained in our personalities that accessibility is just something we practice naturally. So let me start my PowerPoint now. Okay, don't know what that is. Sorry, it has me on my browser so that I have to figure out how to share this. Yeah, we're gonna try this. Okay. Do you see a PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what is accessibility resources? We assist students with documented disabilities to receive reasonable academic accommodations. We also provide resources and support for faculty and staff, including information on universal design for learning. So those reasonable academic accommodations are a wide gamut of things, as are the documented disabilities. We serve students who maybe just break their arm for one semester and only need accommodations for one semester, compared to students who have maybe they have PTSD from time served overseas or from traumatic instances in their own life, ADHD, a wide variety of different diagnoses. And why is accessibility important? First and foremost, it's the law. You have to provide equal access to programs or activities by any public institution under Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. There's also the Americans with Disabilities Act, and then the Oklahoma Electronic and Information Technology Accessibility Law. So all of those laws together just say that we have to be accessible for any person that could stumble across TCC information. So students, faculty, those are kind of what we think of, but it's also for any student who may even just visit our website or a conference that we hold. We have to be accessible no matter the forum. This is our syllabus statement that should hopefully be in all of your syllabi, and then it should also be under Blackboard. So essentially it just says that if you have a disability, you will not be discriminated against because of that disability. And what are reasonable accommodations? Access to TCC academic courses and curriculum, access to other programs and services, access to TCC programs and services. It's accomplished through universal design for learning, assistive technology, audiobooks, American Sign Language interpreter, real-time captionist, caption media. So we do have all three of those available. Internships, planned student activities on and off campus. So if you're a nursing student who goes into clinicals, we also ensure the clinicals have the accessible needs met that you would have in a classroom. Fitness center activities, campus fairs and workshops, and then lecture series, graduation, campus fairs. Like I said earlier, any aspect of TCC that anyone can engage with has to be accessible. So prior to COVID, if you attended a graduation, you would see that, my entire office is there to help any visitor that is in a wheelchair, crutches, to make sure we have special seating for them. We also provide interpreters, and I do believe it's captioned. I know there was talk of it. I think it is captioned now. And what are reasonable classroom accommodations? These are our most commonly approved accommodations, but these are not all that are available. Adapted course materials, volunteer note takers, interpreters, captioned media, adaptive equipment, assistive technology, preferential seating, special testing, which is extended test time, reduced distraction testing, having exams read to you, or maybe you need someone to write down as you speak, and then a service animal. And anything that is not, or what is not considered a reasonable accommodation, is anything that can pose a direct threat to health or safety of others. If the accommodation really influences the curriculum that you're learning or the learning outcomes of that course. So if you have to demonstrate a certain amount of knowledge, then you have to still be able to do that even if you have accommodations. We cannot mess with the curriculum at all. That's the biggest problem that our students who are transferring directly from high school run into, is that legislation at the K-12 level actually approves the modification of the curriculum, whereas we no longer do that after the age of 18. So that's something that we really try to let everyone know, so that if you are fresh out of high school or know anyone that is fresh out of high school, they're aware that their accommodations will change. And this last one is a very, very tough bullet point to meet for any institution. But if an accommodation poses an undue financial or administrative burden, then it is not considered a reasonable accommodation. Most court cases tell us that's not really any measure that an institution can meet these days. At a previous position of mine, I had a student who was in her senior year of college, her very last semester, and she had an allergy to alcohol chemicals or ethanol chemicals, something chemicals, and she was a biology major. And all of her professors had given her flexible assignments and things like that. So she had gone until her last semester of her senior year without accommodations or knowing about my office. And this lab had all of the things that she was allergic to. And so within a week, I had to find a gas mask that she could use, because it wasn't considered an undue financial or administrative burden. We should have known. So that last one is a very, very tough challenge to meet. So that's just a little tidbit for you, is that you're rarely going to ever have that explained to you that, oh no, we just can't afford it, because legally we're required to. The faculty and staff responsibilities are to refer a student to us to begin the accommodation process, include a statement in the class syllabus, assist TCC in complying with federal and state disability laws, show confidence in a student's abilities, keep disability-related information confidential, and discuss all student-related information directly with the student. So if you do go to a faculty member or financial aid and you say, I have I'm trying to think, endometriosis, and this is what it does to me. And then they say, okay, let me give you that information for accessibility resources. That's really the biggest way that we get all of our referrals, is because people are referred to us. We know most often, unless it's something that you have dealt with your entire life, you won't know to look for our office. So that's why we do a lot of conferences and presentations with other departments here on campus to make sure they have information about our office. So to refer students to us, there is the direct referral to us, contact a staff member, provide students with this AR information. And so that last bullet point is actually our accommodation request form. So if a student needs to request accommodations, they can just go on to our website and fill out that form directly. It immediately goes to our email, so that we can start reaching out to you. Within most cases, unless it's like the first week of the semester, you should be reached out to within 24 hours. During the first week of the semester, everything is very, very busy. So you may have 48 hours, but we are legally required to respond to you and start that process within a certain amount of time. It is important that students must meet attendance, conduct, and course requirements of the university. It is important to separate personal skills and behaviors from academic requirements. We see this a lot with students on the autism spectrum. We expect students to behave a certain way, even though we talk a lot about neurodiversity. I feel like neurodiversity is something that is becoming a hot topic, but we still have those social norms of how we expect someone to act in a classroom. And if someone acts differently than that, then we may think, oh, well, they're just a really poor student, when in fact it could just be how they're engaging in the course to make sure they're still paying attention. And unless that behavior becomes distracting or, threatening in some way, it should not impact their academic requirements. And then students should be graded utilizing the same criteria used for all students. We want you to be aware of this, so that if you ever do get accommodations, the biggest reason that students show any hesitation is they don't want to be treated differently or being seen as special, or they're not getting the same education. And the biggest thing I want you to know is that if any student receiving accommodations, they're meeting the exact same course requirements and academic requirements as a student not getting accommodations. They're not getting a specialized education plan. It's the exact same information that any other student is learning. Accommodation should correct or circumvent functional. This is a very, very formal statement to say that accommodations are just a tool to assist in education. So think of if you are nearsighted and you're sitting at the back of a classroom, you're going to need reading glasses to see the board. That's really what an accommodation is. Many of the things that we have these days, like a calculator, fluorescent lighting, even speech to text on your phone with Siri, all of those started as an accommodation that people were like, why don't we have this everywhere? So really that's the thing, is that it's there to assist in something that the student may not be able or may not have the capacity to do on their own. So if it's, if you have a sensory processing disorder, then reading something may not have the same impact as having it read aloud to you. So it's not like you are behind in any way or anything like that. It just means that you learn differently and that you just need different tools to be successful. There are 4 AR counselors, ARs, accessibility resources, myself at Metro Campus and the Outreach Center. That office number is about to change, the 331B. I'm about to be moved to the 5th floor, but I am still on the Metro Campus. Christina Hakey at the Northeast Campus and Owasso Campus, Ty Harrell at the Southeast Campus, and Stacy Nobles at the West Campus. And we all switch between being on campus and working remotely. Oops. We have Kathy Daly as our Faculty Student Success Liaison. She is an exceptional addition to our team. She is a faculty member herself, and so she understands from a faculty perspective what the challenges can be to implement accommodation. So she helps our professors, and she often serves as that liaison between students and faculty members to make sure everything is being done in a timely manner, but also that faculty members aren't being overburdened. We know that faculty often take on a lot more than we even realize, so we want to make sure that they're going to be able to support our students as they best can. The Resource Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing is at the Northeast campus. It is housed at Northeast, but it serves all campuses. Christina Hakey is also the person that you can contact for the Resource Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, or you can call that number. And then if you want more information, there is that link. But does anyone have any questions for me? Let's see.
When do we need to re-register for summer semester?
You can start doing that now. So the renewal form is online. You can start renewing services now, but you have up until the first day of classes.
Don't you all usually send out a link
Yes,
to the current one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
We have students who are filling it out now, so that's why I say you can go ahead and do it now. We would prefer that it not be done until the week of finals, because we still have students requesting accommodations for the spring semester. So we're trying to make sure we're not losing any summer renewals for the students who are still needing accommodations this semester. But an email will be sent out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Amber. And everybody, if you have any questions, since our time is up, please feel free to email Amber or call her or come to visit with her at Metro Campus. So our director, Dr. Dickens, is on. So he has other meetings today. So he usually gives very special perspectives on different resources. So Dr. Dickens. Okay, so I'm still also trying to get this drawing. Can you see the board, the drawing board? Everyone?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, so we have 10 people attending today. Let me see. So everybody's here. Brindy, Danessa, Star. Okay, so we got 10 students here. We're going to shuffle our names. Today we have 5 special drawing of $10 each. As I said, this is the generous donation from Women's Foundation of Oklahoma. So let me see. So we have 5 drawings today. Let's see, shuffle our name twice. Okay, so it's still 10 people. Let's go. So we have 5 prizes. Okay, we're going to start picking the winner. Okay, so our winners today is Cynthia Wilson, Brindy Barron, Yeri Sabreri, Danessa Starr, Kayla Kilby. Congratulations. So don't forget to put on your calendar for May the 4th. We'll have Ms. Mary Walker as the keynote speaker, and 10 prize drawings. You will be recognized and rewarded for your effort, persistence in attending the event and working with us to overcome barriers to be successfully balance your life and school. So we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.